The Galactic Combat Academy was never quiet. Every day alien cadets trained, shouted, sparred, and roared. But today the arena was silent. Every trainee and instructor stared at the centering, shocked into stillness, because a human girl was standing there. A small human girl named Lena Carter, only 16 years old. She wore simple training armor, her boots muddy, her ponytail wet with sweat. Round her stood towering alien warriors, some with claws, some with horns, some with armored hides, all of them bigger, stronger, and faster than her. Humans were considered weak in the galaxy, small, emotional, fragile. So when Lena was accepted into the academy, everyone thought it was a joke, a political experiment. Nothing more. The other cadets whispered behind her back, "She will fail, she will cry. She will die on the first test." But Lena didn't seem bothered. She arrived every morning before the others. She trained twice as long. She practiced every combat form until her fingers burned. And every time someone mocked her size, she simply smiled. A small, fearless smile that annoyed every bully in the academy. Today was the Predator Cub Trial, the most feared initiation test for new cadets. A predator cub was not a normal animal. It was a young monster from the Karzal jungles, born with venom, claws, and deadly instincts. Even as babies, they were violent and unpredictable. Most cadets needed shock spears and energy nets to handle one. But humans were not allowed weapons for this trial. The instructors said it was tradition. The other cadets said it was suicide. Lena stood alone in the center of the arena. Rain dripped from the cracked ceiling, falling like cold needles on her neck. She wiped her face and exhaled slowly. Her palms were sweaty, but her mind was calm. She had been through worse on Earth. Life had taught her that fear was not her enemy. Giving up was. The instructors stood behind a control panel. One of them, a tall reptilian creature with dark scales, cleared his throat. "Human cadet," he said. "This is your final chance to withdraw." Lena grinned. "No thanks," she said. "I'm ready." The instructors exchanged worried glances. Some believed humans were brave. Others believed they were reckless. No one knew which Lena was. The instructor pressed a button. A massive iron door rumbled open. Steam burst out, and a chilling growl echoed across the arena. Every cadet froze, holding their breath. The Predator Cub stepped out. It was the size of a lion, with 6 glowing eyes and sharp crystal-like fur. Its tail swayed like a whip, dripping venom. It sniffed the air and locked onto Lena. The instructors stiffened. The alien cadets whispered, "She's dead. She won't survive 5 seconds." The Predator Cub lowered its body, ready to pounce. Lena didn't move. She simply tilted her head and studied its stance. She noticed how its feet shifted weight, how its ears twitched, how it tested the wind. "Nice try," she said softly, smirking. Every instructor froze. Every cadet gasped. No human had ever talked to a predator cub like that. The creature snarled, showing rows of razor teeth. It leapt a blur of claws and fury straight toward her chest. Instructors moved to shut down the test, but it was too late. The cub slammed onto the ground as Lena sidestepped with perfect timing, not by speed, not by power, but by reading the creature, understanding its movement the same way she read a dog's body language back home. The cub skidded, confused, then roared angrily. It circled her. Tail whipping, Lena crouched slightly and let out a playful snarl of her own. A human snarl, short, sharp, confident. The cadet stared in disbelief. Is the human mocking it? Does she want to die? The predator cub lunged again, this time faster. Lena ducked under its claws and tapped its side with 2 fingers. A light tap like teasing a puppy. Too slow, she teased with a smile. The cub froze, looking stunned. It had expected screams, fear, panic, not a stubborn little human giggling in its face. Then something unexpected happened. The cub's ears flattened. Its tail lowered. Its breathing slowed. This wasn't combat behavior. This was confusion and respect. Lena slowly reached out her hand. The instructors shouted for her to stop, but she ignored them. She touched the cub's forehead gently. The monster blinked its 6 eyes. Confused but calm, "You're not bad," Lena whispered, just angry and scared. The cub leaned into her hand. It didn't attack. It didn't snarl. It didn't fight. Instead, it lowered itself onto the ground in front of her, submitting. The arena exploded with noise. Cadets shouting, instructors demanding explanations. No one could understand how a human child had just tamed a predator cub with nothing but confidence and kindness. One of the instructors stormed toward her. "What did you do?" he demanded. "How did you stop it?" Lena shrugged, still petting the cub like a giant dog. "Humans don't scare easy," she said casually. "And monsters aren't monsters if you treat them like friends." The predator cub made a soft growl, almost affectionate, refusing to move from her side. When the instructors tried to take it away, it snarled at them but stayed calm near Lena. "That's impossible," an alien cadet whispered. "She made it bond with her," another said. "No one bonds with a predator cub," a third added. But Lena just grinned, kicking her feet playfully. "First time for everything," she said. Word spread through the academy within minutes. The human girl had tamed a beast, not through strength, not through power, but through understanding, through reading emotions and instincts, through courage, the kind of courage aliens never expected from small, fragile humans. Later that day, Lena walked back to the dorms with the predator cub following like a loyal dog. Cadets moved out of the way, staring, some in awe, some in fear, some in deep respect. A tall insectoid cadet approached, clicking nervously. "Human Lena," he said. "How did you learn such bravery?" Lena smiled loudly, the kind that showed her whole personality. "My dad taught me," she said. "He always said courage isn't about being strong. It's about not running when someone needs you." The insectoid cadet tilted his head. "Someone?" Lena nodded. "Even if that someone is a giant murder kitten," she said with a laugh. The predator cub growled softly, offended. Lena rubbed its head. Okay, you're a handsome murder kitten," she corrected. The cadet blinked. "You humans are strange." "Yep," Lena said proudly. "And that's why we're awesome." That night, the Academy Council reviewed footage of the trial. They slowed the recording, analyzing every movement Lena made, every smile, every step, every breath. They found no violence, no aggression, only calm confidence and emotional intelligence beyond anything they had seen from her species. One council member finally said, "Humans may not be strong, but they are something more dangerous." Another finished the sentence, "They are fearless," and so Lena Carter, the smallest human cadet in the galaxy, began her legend, not because she killed a beast, not because she won a fight, but because she showed the galaxy a truth they had forgotten. Courage doesn't always come from strength. Sometimes it comes from the heart. And in a universe full of warriors and monsters, a small human girl stood smiling in the center of the arena, petting a predator cub that everyone feared, and proving, without a doubt,